Hey, what's up? It's your girl Tati and I'm back with another video, and judging by the title, this is about why I haven't been uploading for a while. So I felt compelled to share my experience because, well, it was a long and crazy experience for me, and I know a lot of people who's gone through this and probably had it better than I have, or probably had it worse than I had. But I had got COVID like right after Christmas. I ended up testing positive. What was it? December 30th, right? At first I just thought it was just a cold and I had a fever or whatnot. It didn't really seem any different from that. And once I realized where I got it from, then I was like, okay, if that person tested positive, then I definitely have to be positive as well. So all I cared about was just keeping my daughter away so that she didn't end up getting sick as well. So thankfully she never contracted COVID the whole time that I had it, so that was like the plus for me. But it was just difficult keeping a child away from me the whole time, because you know, she's just 8 years old and I do everything for her, and it was really difficult to you know, keep away and try not to do as much as I normally do. And it was during Christmas break, so that makes it boring to just stay in your room and play video games all day, right? So this was a really crazy experience for me because it lasted a lot longer than I even anticipated that it would. So I didn't have COVID this entire time. What actually happened was I did have COVID, and when I was sick, the worst symptom was the fever I had for like 2 days, and after that I had this crazy fatigue that was just so tired, like unexplainably tired for nothing. And that was really hard to shake off because it's like you have to do things, you have to move. I was still working, I work at home, and you know, I had to sit in front of a computer 8 hours a day and just try to find energy to do that, and it was really difficult. And one day, it was after the new year, I was just feeling, it's like I was feeling better, but sometimes I was feeling bad. And after a while I started having this really weird feeling in my chest, where at first I didn't think that it was anything wrong with my lungs or anything. I just thought that it might have been some kind of chest discomfort, maybe from, like, you know, coughing or whatever. But I told my supervisor and I said, hey, look, I'm not feeling well. I've had COVID, I've been working through it. I haven't even told you guys that because I didn't feel like I had to, because it didn't come in between my job. But today I'm really not feeling well, and I'm just gonna take off for the rest of the day. And she texted me back stating that I should, okay, stay in work, because when she had COVID, she was able to work. And I was so like dumbfounded about what she said, because I was like, wait, what the hell does you being sick has to do with me? Like, everyone who has even a common cold, like, everybody don't have the same symptoms, everybody don't take it the same way. So how could you be telling me that because you were okay enough to work throughout it, that I should be able to do the same thing too? Which I did do. It was just this particular day I just wasn't feeling it at all. And I was just like, whatever, I'm out. I don't have to explain myself. If I'm not feeling well enough to do something, I'm not gonna do it. And the next day I was actually feeling even worse. Like, the chest pain was worse, and it got to the point where I really couldn't even breathe. And I tried to clock in for work, and I said, fuck it. I couldn't even make it to the bathroom, which is like 10 steps away from me. And I just like, I have to go to the hospital, figure out what's going on. I ended up going to the hospital, and I did a x-ray, MRI, and whatever else they told me to do. Surprisingly, I tested negative for COVID-19, but I had COVID pneumonia. So they were telling me that my lungs were really infected, and that they had to get a COVID specialist to come in and talk to me. And I just thought that was weird, because a doctor is telling me that a COVID specialist has to come talk to me. And I'm like, COVID been around for like 2 years. I don't know who's a specialist like that. And the guy comes in the room, and he's basically like in a hazmat suit with a nurse or somebody. And he comes in and he's like, oh, you know, I looked over at your x-rays and everything, and your lungs are really infected. There's nothing I can do for you. And I was like, okay, so what am I gonna do? Do I just go home? And he goes, well, there's nothing we can do. We're looking for a hospital for you to go to so you can just be comfortable. And I'm like, just be comfortable? What does that mean? And he's like, well, you're not gonna make it. And my face was just blank, because even though he's telling me these things, like, I didn't even feel that bad. Like, I had troubles breathing whenever I had to move. So if I was sitting down for a period of time, I didn't feel bad. It was literally whenever I had to move is when I could not breathe on my own. And I didn't think that things were that bad based on what he was telling me. So I told him, I said, am I gonna die? And he literally said yes. And he's like, I see patients like this all the time and they don't make it. And I was like, well, I'm pretty sure it's on a case-by-case basis. And he's like, no, not this type of pneumonia. And I started to freak out, because I'm like, well, he's supposed to be a specialist. He should know what he's talking about. And then he goes on and say, well, don't you wish you got vaccinated? And I'm like, what do you mean if I wish I got vaccinated? You know, COVID-19, I mean, being vaccinated does not determine if you'll get the virus. You can still get a vaccine and still get a virus. So I told him, I said, even if I did get vaccinated, I could have still contracted the virus. And he goes, well, I'm spending $1,000 per family member of mine from Colombia, and they're gonna come here and get vaccinated, and they'll be going back home safe from the virus. And I'm like, what the hell are you telling me? You're telling me that I'm going to die, and in the same sentence you're telling me that you're bringing your family over from Colombia to get them vaccinated. Like, that doesn't even, how does that have to, what does it have to do with me? And then he's like, oh, you know, you young people, you feel like you don't have to protect yourselves and all that. And I said, look, man, I work from home. If I order food or whatever, it comes to my house or they put it in the back of my damn car. I don't leave my home. I got it from someone from home who leaves the home. So it wasn't like I was being careless and just trying to get sick or whatever. I did try to protect myself, and it just happened. Am I going to die or not? And he said yes. And that he was looking for any hospital in the state of Florida that will take me to airlift me there. And I'm like, airlift? Then shit is so bad, you have to airlift me there? Then I'm probably gonna die. But to be fair, I live in the middle of nowhere in Florida. The closest hospital was like 20 minutes away, and the next closest is more than an hour away. So I didn't really know how to react, because I was so shocked. And he's like, well, I'll do the best I can for you. If we can't find anything for you, we'll have to just send you home, because we don't have the means to treat this type of situation. And I was just like about to break down, because I just thought it was so serious that I was not gonna recover from it. As soon as he walks out the door, the nurses are apologizing. Oh, I'm so sorry about what he said. He should have never said that. He's had a long day. And I'm like, hold on, long day or not, you went to school for this. You know you're supposed to be professional. And if you feel like you're having too much of a bad day to be professional with patients, keep your ass home. Okay? I don't give a damn about you saving your family life or whatever. You're here to save the lives of people that's at the hospital, and there's a certain way you need to speak to them, not coming in there and giving your opinions about vaccination and all that shit. You helping me or you're not? And I just felt like he was just way out of line, and honestly I was scared as fuck. And he sends a guy to come and to do like more testing for my lungs and stuff like that. And I was just so distraught, like I couldn't even look at him. And it happened to be a Wednesday night, so I was also watching Dynamite, and I wanted to feel better by watching it, but I just didn't feel better. And you know, the guy comes in and he's telling me jokes, and he's like, oh, I like wrestling too, and he's telling me all these things. So it kind of made me laugh or whatever to have somebody interacting with me, because you know, once there's a COVID diagnosis, nobody can be in your room. People are taking all type of precautions from you. So I just felt so lonely and just heartbroken. But long story short, I really did have pneumonia and my lungs were really bad. I had a really hard time breathing. I had to be on oxygen. A doctor at the hospital just came barging into the room like 1 o'clock, woke me up and said, hey, I'm really sorry about what happened with that doctor, but I'll take responsibility for you and I'll treat you. I'm not going to send you anywhere. I'm going to get you a room, and if you have to stay for a long time, you'll just stay for a long time. And I was kind of sad about that too, because literally I was there on January 5th was the first day I was there, and my birthday was on the 10th, and I was like, I don't even want to be here on my birthday. I don't even want to feel like this on my birthday. Like, this is not how I expected the new year to come in. I just wanted to make it through this or whatnot. So I ended up spending 10 days in the hospital until the point that I could breathe on my own. And I had really great care from everybody but that doctor that was just being an asshole. And I ended up going back home and I had to be on oxygen at home, and I missed so much work because literally I could not talk because I had to be in oxygen, and I'm gasping like every 2 or 3 words because I even though I was able to breathe better on my own, where I was able to leave the hospital, I just couldn't do it well enough to speak to people for like long periods of conversations. Not even a whole sentence I was able to get out without feeling I had to catch my breath. I had a hard time sleeping. It was a really rough recovery for me, and I was hoping it was going to go by fast because I had bought tickets to go to AEW Revolution and FanFest. I was like ready to pay to meet anybody who was going to be over there. My daughter was so happy because she wanted to meet Jurassic Express. She just wanted to just meet a whole bunch of people, and I was ready for it. I paid for everything, was just ready to go. And even a week before that, and that was like what, first week of March, I did go get my lungs checked and they still wasn't good enough, so I could not go. You know, it's hours away from me and I just wasn't healthy enough to go, so I had to wait. And now it's what, first week of April, and I am feeling really good, and I don't have to worry about gasping for air or anything like that. It's been a while since, you know, I've done videos, and I couldn't even do that because I'm struggling to breathe just to talk. And I had to wait until I can like get over that because I just felt like it would just be too uncomfortable to do or whatnot. But now I feel so much better. I got a new camera. I'm ready to talk about wrestling, and that's what I love to do. So if you guys were wondering what happened to me, that's my story. Hey, and you know what? I'm no advocate for COVID-19 or whatever, but if you were to get sick, COVID or anything, and you go to the hospital and the doctor is treating you like shit, don't do like what I did and kind of not report it or anything, because I didn't do that. Report their ass. You know, you don't deserve to be treated like shit, and just because they're a professional doesn't mean that they can treat you however you want. But I did have great care after seeing that doctor. I will be back with other videos, especially about AEW. They've been killing it lately. Like last night, Young Bucks, FTR, oh my god, love it, love it, love it, love it. I can't even, like, AEW, y'all doing real good right now. Oh, and ROH, their pay-per-view was real good too. I'll talk about that later. Bye.